Hi, welcome back, my dear student. In this lecture here, I'm going to show you how to keep track of the views that each of your posts is getting. All right, so we're going to be able to keep track of that by doing some SQL statements. Now, some of you already figure out a way of doing this, some of you have not, and I'm doing this because somebody requested this, and I figured it was a good idea to do. So I'm going to show you a way of doing it, even though there are many different ways you could actually do it. All right, it's just going to give you more knowledge on what to do and how to be more creative and how to actually make it better. All right, make everything better. So the first thing that we need to actually do is create a column inside our database. All right, our table. So let's go to our table. Let's go to posts. All right, and let's go to structure, and right after post status, whatever you got on the last column here, just create another column and just call it post, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, post view. I'm going to call it post view counts or post views count. I'm going to set it to an integer of 11 there. All right, so now we're done with that. The next step is open your post.php. And here, one thing that I want to actually do here, just to make this a little better, I'm going to take this curly brackets that closes this is set right here. I'm just going to take it out of here, command exit or control exit, depending on the operating system you are. Go all the way down and put it together where this ends right here. All right, and what I'm going to do is that we don't want to receive anybody here that is not supposed, that doesn't have a post ID, right? So we'll create an else statement here and just redirect whoever comes here to the index if they don't have a post ID. All right, that's what this little piece of code is going to do. All right, and of course we're not going to execute anything unless we have a post ID, right? So that's a very good thing to do. Make sure that you wrap everything around this if set. Anyway, so the next step is what we want to do, and I already wrote this code and I'm just going to copy paste it here and explain it to you. We're creating an update SQL statement, and we are updating the post view counts, and I think I actually put another name on it. I think I put an S right here. So post views count, we're going to set, so we're going to set this post view counts to the same post view counts plus 1. All right, so basically what this is going to do is actually increment this column here every time we execute the code, every time we find this, right? Every time we have an ID, every time a visitor visits the page or anything. And we're going to increment it where a post ID equals a post ID, of course, because we want to do it specifically for this, for the specific post, right? Then we'll send in the information with the query, and we can even do a check just to make sure that everything is working, right? We could just go ahead and do a check right here, make sure that this query works. All right, and then we'll come here, we'll check that column right now, and we see that everything is 0 right now. So we're going to try first the post with ID 64. I think that's the first one in my side. All right, so let's visit our CMS. Sorry about that. Let's go to localhost /CMS in my case. Okay, I went to 65 by mistake. All right, let's check on that. And let's refresh. And we can see here that it incremented to 1. So let's go ahead and try it a couple more times. Let's try some other posts. I'm going to try 64. I'm going to refresh 64 a couple times, a couple times, a couple times. I'm going to go back and I'm going to try post 67, and I'm going to refresh one time, and that's it. Then I'm going to come here and refresh, and I'm going to go and show you what happened. So here you can see that I visited that 4 times. 4 times, 1 time, and twice here. All right, so it's working, it's incrementing that. Now, one thing that I want to warn you about is that you also might want to build a functionality, and we can do it right now, but I'm going to show you how to display this first, and you should know how to do that. But you might want to build a functionality here in the edit post, so that way you can just reset that count every time. Basically, you'll build a functionality where you can just click a button and you will reset that specific column in that specific table. Right now, I want to just display it here just because it looks nice. So let's go to view_all posts, and let's go to where we are using this table headings, this table right here, right? We're gonna pull that specific, let's put that $sign. We're gonna pull that specific column, pause views count. All right, if you don't spell it correctly, of course it's not gonna work. All right, because we are referring to the column, right? So let's display this down here by doing another echo. All right, so td and paste that variable, and then td again to close it. I just put my curly brackets around it. I like it. It just differentiates the variable from the string, right? From the HTML elements. We'll come here, refresh, and we have an error. You see that? And that's because I didn't close it here, semicolon. There we go. All right. So now we see everything is 0 here, but if you go all the way down, you can see the post count right here, 2, 0, 1, and 4. All right. So that's an easy way of actually keeping track of whatever post is getting visited on, if you're putting this online or something. All right. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this lecture, and we might build another functionality where we can delete this, make a button, right? And just like I was telling you right here, to delete it. If you want to take that as a challenge, go ahead and try to do that. All right. I think it's going to be pretty fun to do. Take care, and I'll see you in the next lecture.